Good evening. It is evening here. According to my phone, it's 20:07, which in civilian time is 8:07 p.m. And I'm sitting here. I'm going to do a video about it, which is why I'm in this particular setup. I'm sitting here with all the bottles that I have on hand. That's the video I'm going to do. But right now, what I want to do is a review. And if you hear the chair creaking, yes, it's the chair creaking. This is not the best setup I've ever had, although it's better than the first one I had. On the other hand, a slap in the face would be better than that one. By the way, I'm Robert McKay. The channel, of course, is Whiskey for Beginners. If you would, please, well, if you like the video, please click the like button. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. You can share these all over the place if you want to. I not only do I not mind, I would appreciate it. But I want to do a review of what, as far as I know, is a Total Wine store brand. McFarlane's Reserve. Let me see if I can turn that a little better. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. It is 90 proof. This bottle cost me $21.54 back on the 25th of April. Now I have a rotation that I go through, a couple of bottles a night, couple of glasses from two different bottles, and I go through it. When I'm done, I randomize it, go through it again. But even so, you can tell that I haven't had but a glass or two of this stuff. And that's because I don't want it in the rotation. But we'll get into the details here directly. I'm going to have to turn so I can pour the glass. I don't know if you heard it, but it pops nice when you pull the cork. That is about all I am going to pour, because I know I'm not going to finish it. And after tonight, that bottle is no more. I'm not going to kill it, I'm just going to get rid of it. As I say, I believe it's a Total Wine store brand. I have never seen it anywhere else. And Total Wine people promote it, and they do that with their store brands. Now, because something is a store brand doesn't make it bad. I think that Bluff Springs, another Total Wine store brand, is considerably better than Buffalo Trace bourbon. It's easier to find, at least here. It costs less, if I remember right. And I have a bottle of Bluff Springs right here, $24.99, so $25 bottle. I believe that's what I have paid for the two bottles of Buffalo Trace I've had, but I can always find Bluff Springs. It's only been recently that I've been able to go into the store and see multiple bottles of Buffalo Trace on the shelf as a regular thing. And if you'll pardon me, allergies. But I have tried 3 Total Wine store brands now. Three. It's easier for me to do this. I've tried 3 Total Wine store brands now. Bluff Springs, which I like. First Call Rye, which I couldn't drink. And then this McFarlane, and you're going to see what I think of it. Oh man, that is sour. It smells like something sweet going bad. Rotten candy, maybe? It's not fully rotten. It's just at the start of decay, but it has that aspect to it where it's sweet but beginning to rot. There's maybe some corn in there, but really I'm just getting that rotten sweetness. Yeah, that's all I'm getting on the nose. At first, it tastes better than it smells. There's a caramel to it and a alcohol bite, but it quickly becomes almost vinegary. There is hardly any finish to it, and it's just a little oak and some alcohol. And that's all I'm getting. Now, I could take another sip, another 2 sips, however many, but this is like my third glass of it. It's not getting better. If anything, it's getting worse. You know, you have people talk about the neck pour. Anything up in here, oh, it's bad. It's the neck pour. Oh, and they act like you can't do this and mix it up. They act like when it's in the truck, it's not doing this. I don't know if you can see it. They act like it's not doing this all the way from the distillery to the distributor and from the distributor to the store. They act like when people are putting it on the shelf, they're not doing this and mixing it up. They act like this stuff, once it gets in the bottle, is absolutely immobile. I mean, doesn't move, doesn't change, doesn't turn over, none of that. Well, that's not the case. It does. It moves and it shakes and it mixes up. Nevertheless, it is true that with some bottles at least, that first glass isn't quite as good as the second and so on. On the other hand, there are some whiskeys I've had where the first sip of the first glass was the only thing I liked about it. And the second sip was bad, and it just got worse and downhill from there. And this is in that latter category. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. The neck pour was the best part of this bottle. So you might like McFarlane's Reserve. I don't. You might like every store brand the Total Wine has. Excuse me. I don't. Everybody's palate is different. In fact, I think I kind of touched on that in my video answering the question, do reviewers really get all those things from whiskey that they're talking about? And the answer, by the way, is yes, but go watch the video. I don't have the facilities to put a link into or on the screen, and I'm sure I'll forget to put one into the description. But go watch it. You can hunt it up. In fact, go watch all my videos. You might like one or two of them. Everybody's palate is different. As Daniel Whittington and Rex Williams, who formerly worked together but for business reasons have had to divide their channels, as they say, the best whiskey is the whiskey you like, the way you like to drink it. And on the MeWe, or in the MeWe whiskey group, Mike Honcho, and if that's his real name, that is so cool. Mike Honcho told me when I was just getting started, if you like it, it's good whiskey. If you like this McFarlane, more power to you. Go forth and drink on it. I don't like it, and I absolutely never will. I'm not going to take another sip of that, so I'm going to use my imaginary glass and say, here's how.